India already won up in the series and a great opportunity for the team to win their first test series in South Africa. Let's talk all about the second test here at Timeout with SportsAdda. Second successive New Year where the Indian team would be celebrating, Arun. Magnificent win last year, if you remember, at the MCG, and now at Centurion. So Boxing Day Test matches have been to be have seemed to be successful for the Indian team last 2 years at least.
Yeah, there's in fact there's a piece that Madhu Javli of Deccan Herald has written, Akhil. It covers the journey of Boxing Day to Boxing Day, and it just makes for a good reading. Like you mentioned that win there at the MCG, and then we went on to win that series, at Brisbane. So fond memories. A few blips, yeah. The World Test Championship was a bit of a disappointing thing, but yeah, we shouldn't be complaining at all.
Very interesting thing has happened right now, which is very important in the context of the series, especially from South Africa. Quinton de Kock has announced his retirement, which is a big news coming into the series, Arun.
It's going to have a huge impact. Akhil. He was one of the more established players. If you look through that South African lineup, Akhil, I think there were just one or two, or maybe three certainties, as in given starters, definite starters. Now you knock off Quinton de Kock's name from that team. It will unsettle the team a bit. He was one of the top batsmen. Now, given batting's been a huge problem, they've got a quality replacement in Kyle Verreynne, but he's still unproven at the Test cricket level. He averages, I think, 51 in first class cricket, 52 in first class cricket, Akhil. Over 50 games, so that's quality, but I don't know. I mean, it will unsettle South Africa because the batting's been the concern.
Okay, so before we proceed and we have a look at the squads and we talk more about what are the kind of lineups that both the teams could have. As usual at Timeout with SportsAdda, we have a contest coming up, which is about the India-South Africa series. We usually have very simple questions like we've seen, but just to reiterate the simple task that people who listen in and want to win some prizes, all they have to do is listen to the show, go onto the YouTube channel and answer in the comment section. There are lots of big prizes that we've been giving away. Mobile phones, again, people can win a smartphone here today. People who answer correctly, and the simple question, Arun, that we are going to have the contest question today is that who was India's captain when India won their first test match in South Africa? Very simple question. You were there at the game, I believe, when India won their first test match in South Africa. So all our listeners have to do is tell us who was the captain and get a chance to win a smartphone. Good question, Arun.
Simple question. I'll make it even more easier. That person's going to be at Joburg. When the test match happens, that person's going to be at Joburg.
Okay, lovely. So that was our contest question. Okay, coming back to the second test match, Arun. Important that South Africa bounces back because they had their moments in the first test match. It wasn't that it was a complete washout, even though the margin of victory were more than 100 runs. But it wasn't that South Africa did not have their chances. If you remember, Mayank Agarwal was dropped in the first inning, and that proved a very, very costly miss because Mayank and Rahul had that huge partnership. So if South Africa held on to their chances properly in their first test, it could have still been closer.
Could have been closer, but I don't think it would have changed the result, Akhil. I think India would have won the test match anyway.
Sure.
I think the Indian bowling attack's just been too good. Against this, the South African batting lineup, there are huge question marks against it, Akhil. There are 2-3 players there. You think they would score runs no matter what, but the rest of the other 4-5, I'm not so sure about their ability to score runs against this attack. This Indian bowling attack's probably one of the best in Test cricket history, Akhil. Let me repeat that. This Indian bowling attack, pace bowling attack, is probably one of the best in Test history. So huge question marks against the South African batting lineup. They will have to make a couple of changes, Akhil. And one is obviously the first one. So Quinton de Kock goes in. I think Kyle
Yeah.
Verreynne will come in straight away. The other question mark is, do they continue to play Keshav Maharaj? Dwayne Oliver was expected to be a starter, fabulous bowler. He missed out, and we learned it a little later. He missed out because of not having done enough overs in the nets, having recovered from COVID. So I think he will come in. Does he come in place of Marco Jansen, or does he come in place of Keshav Maharaj? That's the change I'm expecting, or Vian Mulder for that matter. Could be anybody.
Going to be interesting also in the Indian setup. If you remember in the last Test match that India played at Johannesburg, they did not field a spinner. So very interesting case. Obviously, Ravichandran Ashwin, one of the best spinners operating in world cricket right now. He took 2 wickets at the end of the first Test match. Also, obviously, it's not easy to go and like have go and smash Ashwin in a Test match wherever he's bowling. But four seamers again, Virat Kohli seems to like having a lot of seamers at his disposal. So there was an article that I read, Arun, where they said that maybe a Hanuma Vihari slots it at number 6. They still play four seamers and add in one more. Vihari bowls his off spin. Who, anyways, we don't know how much off spin they'll get to see at Johannesburg. So that is going to be a question again for the Indian team.
So the questions I am asking, Akhil, one is, as you rightly pointed out, Ravichandran Ashwin, he hasn't done enough in the first test with the bat and with the ball. You mentioned he picked up 2 lower order wickets at the end, yes, in the second innings, but he has not done enough in Centurion, and he will not give you enough in Joburg as well. Let me just give you a couple of numbers, Akhil. Why I'm saying this? In the last 6 test matches at the Wanderers in Johannesburg, the number of wickets picked up by fast bowlers is 200. Last 6 matches at Johannesburg Wanderers, wickets picked up by pacers 200. The same 6 test matches, wickets picked up by spinners 13.
13.
200 against 13. So there's absolutely no role for a spinner in Johannesburg. We're also expecting that Johannesburg is a venue of 4 seasons again. So you could expect some showers. So I don't see Ashwin making the lineup for no fault of his. The conditions just don't suit his style of bowling. I'd be surprised if Rahul Dravid and Virat Kohli choose him. The other question I'm asking is, should India continue and persist with Shardul Thakur in the 11? I don't think Shardul Thakur did enough in that first test in Centurion, despite the conditions being favorable to the quicks. So that's the change I'm looking for. I might bring back Ishant Sharma for Shardul Thakur, and I might leave out Ashwin and bring in a Vihari to bolster my batting as well.
Going to be interesting because obviously Shardul has batted well and the kind of batting option that he's provided to the team in Australia and in South Africa, that is obviously helpful for him to swing the team in his favor. But you're right. I mean, he did not get as many overs under his belt in the first Test match. The top 3 seamers did their role so beautifully. Not much of a
Also,
contribution.
Akhil, while you're talking about this, he did not threaten enough, and he did not keep the pressure, Akhil. Shardul Thakur did not keep the pressure in that first innings. 11 overs, 1 maiden, 51 runs, 2 wickets. That's an economy of 4.64. When you look at all the other bowlers, Akhil, economy of 2.18, 2.97, 2.75, Ashwin 2.85, despite the conditions not being favorable to him. So Shardul Thakur was a bit of a disappointment. I'm also looking at Ishant Sharma, a senior pacer, because Bumrah had that bit of an injury scare. So if you have something like that, at the back of your mind, you want a senior pacer to cover for Bumrah, and that's why I'm looking at Ishant Sharma as an option for Shardul Thakur.
Going to be interesting. The whole media, everyone's still talking about Virat Kohli and his run for 2021. So that should be something. It will be fascinating, as a cricket fan, Arun. It will be fascinating if I can get an access to see what kind of conversations Rahul Dravid is having with the middle order here actually, because all three of them, Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara, Virat Kohli, all of them have played cricket with Rahul Dravid. They've batted with him from the other end, so they've looked up to him and seen him as a great batsman for India. So it will be fascinating to see what kind of conversations he'll be having. Because from whatever I've been reading, Arun, it's not like he's going to be tinkering too much with what these gentlemen will want. It will be soft advice on what they can do, but it will be fascinating. Imagine having that conversation and like listening to it.
I can promise you one thing, Akhil. Rahul Dravid's not going to go tell Virat Kohli or Ajinkya Rahane or Pujara, stand only on your right leg and bat. That's not going to happen. It happened with the English cricket team. It will not happen with the Indian cricket team. I can promise you that much. But you're right. That will make for a fascinating conversation. You spoke about all three, Akhil, momentarily in that first Test match on Centurion. Pujara stonewalled, in the second innings. First innings he got a duck, yes, but second innings he stonewalled. Virat Kohli batted beautifully before nicking one, which was three sets of stumps away from the off stump. Ajinkya Rahane was outstanding. I think I and you have had this conversation offline. His control factor was about 95-96% Akhil at one point. Before that first or second, fall stroke cost him his wicket. So they're doing the things correctly. It's just that they need to avoid or get away from these momentary lapses of concentration. Now the one, two, three small mistakes is costing them the wicket. I don't see one of those big scores being too far away. And you're right. They just need to leave. Honestly, I think they just need to get into the habit. Somebody needs to reinforce the fact that this is a place where you can leave. Test cricket's about leaving. Don't chase the delivery.
Okay, going to be fascinating to see how the Indian team comes back. A great opportunity to go up 2-0 in the series and seal the series here. Uh,
India
any
have
other
never lost
aspects?
a kill. India have never lost at Johannesburg at the Wanderers. Never.
Yeah, I was there at Johannesburg last time around when we won the test match there. There were a few Indian fans and there was a lot of dhol tasha and all that the South Africans had arranged outside the stadium. So it was a beautiful atmosphere, even though we lost a lot of time to rain last time, if I remember. So even with that, with a dicey pitch, it was a beautiful test victory to savor. Hopefully, more of that will happen. And before we wrap up and before we move out, Arun, I'm going to repeat a quiz question. We are having the quiz again as a part of the India South Africa Test match. Simple question again. Who was India's captain when India won their first Test match in South Africa? So that's our quiz question for today. Uh, Please subscribe to the channel, YouTube channel, and answer in the comment section. And you have a chance to win a smartphone here. So that's our contest coming up. Great contest coming up in the second Test match also, Arun. As usual, we want to leave this with a prediction. India clear favorites again, so 2-0.
Absolutely. Just one other thing, Akhil. Was it at the Wanderers where Srishant hit Andre Nel for a six and then went off on a jig?
Yeah.
Fond memories of that. You should look for it on YouTube.
Oh, what a memory that was! Like that Test match was special. That Test match was special. Saurav
That's the test we're
Ganguly,
talking about. It was in
that's
that
the
test
one.
match that India went on to register the first win in South Africa.
Absolutely. So Arun's given a big clue. We are hoping India wins this. India clear favorites, have the momentum, have the bowling lineup. KL Rahul looks in outstanding form, so everything going right for India. Hopefully, South Africa will offer a fight, and this won't be as bad as how the Ashes is turning
I,
out.
I, I just want to add one other thing here, Akhil. Since you mentioned KL Rahul, I read a couple of quotes where he said he's learned to leave deliveries. This is the one occasion where perhaps KL Rahul and Ajinkya Rahane can learn from a KL Rahul. He's obviously worked on his temperament and he's consciously leaving stuff. So this is one thing that Virat Kohli, the master, and Ajinkya Rahane can learn from KL Rahul. Predicting if weather doesn't interrupt, India go 2-0 up.
Okay, fantastic. So Arun and I agree on India being favorites here. Please do share your thoughts. What do you think what do you think the result of the match will happen? What do you think India should do as a team combination? Obviously, Ashwin is such a big
And who
bowler.
scores a century? Who among the Indian batsmen is most likely to score 100?
Absolutely. So please leave in your comments, your thoughts on this. We'd love to talk more about those and about your thoughts, your comments here at Timeout with SportsAdda. Thank you so much for joining. Lots and lots of cricket coming up. So stay tuned. We'll be back again soon.